Ladies and gentlemen, are you tired of feeling like you've come so far only to fall short again? Have setbacks made you believe that maybe you're not meant to achieve your dream? Today, we're going to break that illusion. This isn't just a motivational talk. This is a blueprint for your inner revolution, because it's not over, not even close. It's not over until you win. There comes a moment in every life when the world whispers, maybe this is where you stop. A moment when your failures seem louder than your dreams, when the struggle outweighs the strength. But in that very moment, something else stirs, a knowing, a voice deep within that says, keep going. That voice is not weak. It is not native. It is the most powerful truth you will ever know, because life is not a straight path. It's a spiral. And every setback is not the end. It's a sacred signal that your journey isn't done yet, that you still have chapters to write, that you still have a victory to claim. There's a moment in life, quiet, subtle, yet unforgettable, when we look back and wonder if we become nothing more than a collection of past wounds, regrets, and missed chances. We carry the weight of what has been done to us or what we failed to do as if it were our identity. But the truth is, what happened to you is real, but it is not who you are. That's the illusion we must break today. You are not the sum of your trauma, your rejections, your heartbreaks. You are the force that decides what comes next. From the time we are children, we are conditioned to build our identity around experiences, what we did, what we achieved, how others treated us, how much we were loved or abandoned, celebrated or ignored. If you were told you weren't good enough, smart enough, worthy enough, those words begin to form invisible walls around your potential. They root themselves deep into your subconscious. But here's what they don't tell you. You have the power to uproot them. Just because a seed was planted doesn't mean it has to bear fruit. You can plant new seeds. Seeds of strength, vision, rebirth. There is a deeper truth you must absorb. You are not your past. You are not the person who failed. You are not the version of yourself who accepted less than you deserved. You are not defined by that one decision, that broken relationship, that lost opportunity. You are the awareness that witnessed those moments. You are the soul that endured them. And because you witnessed them, you can now transform them. What happened to you may shape you, but it never has the final say. That belongs to the one who still chooses to move forward. We live in a world obsessed with titles and timelines. By this age, you should have done this. If you haven't achieved that, then maybe you're not good enough. But life does not move by external clocks. It moves by inner alignment. Some people are broken open at 20, some awaken at 50, and some rise from the ashes after years of being buried. There is no shame in that. In fact, it's sacred, because what truly defines a person is not how fast they succeed, but how deeply they choose to evolve after they've fallen. That's real power, when you no longer let your past dictate the script of your future. There are people walking around today still imprisoned by stories they never rewrote. They wear pain like it's their personality. They cling to bitterness like it's identity. But that's not life. That's stagnation. Your soul did not come here to remain trapped in cycles of guilt or grief. You are not broken. You are breaking open. You are not stuck. You're being summoned to move differently. You are not too late. You're exactly on time to awaken to who you've always had the potential to become. If you could only see yourself from a higher place, you'd realize your worth was never lost, only hidden. Not by life, but by belief systems you didn't choose. Some were passed down. Some were impressed upon you in moments of weakness. But all of them are subject to your power of choice today. You can unlearn the lies. You can break the patterns. You can say no more, not just once, but daily. In thought, in action, in feeling. Each time you choose truth over trauma, growth over guilt, vision over victimhood, you evolve. And evolution is never instant. It is sacred, slow, and often invisible. Some days you won't feel the progress. You'll think, why am I still battling these thoughts? Why do I still doubt myself? But healing is not linear. Becoming who you truly are is not a destination, it's a return to the self that was always whole before the world told you otherwise. That's what this moment is offering you, the choice to return. The power to say, I'm not here to be a reflection of my wounds. I'm here to be a demonstration of what healing, transformation, and courage look like. When we begin to see ourselves not as what happened to us, but as the ones who survived, endured, and are still choosing growth, we stop identifying with pain and start identifying with power. Real, internal, unshakable power. Because the truth is, you are not what they said. You are not what they did. You are not the version of yourself they gave up. You are the one who is still here. The one who is willing to rise. The one who is still here. The one who is willing to rise. The one who, despite every reason not to believe, still holds on to the vision that something greater is possible. We live in a culture addicted to speed, fast success, fast results, fast healing. We're taught that if something doesn't happen quickly, then maybe it's not meant to be. If it takes too long, we start to question our worth, our vision, our path. But the soul doesn't operate on a fast track. It flows with divine timing. And divine timing is never about convenience. It's about alignment. The delay you're facing isn't rejection. It isn't punishment. It's preparation. Not a denial, but a refining. A reshaping of you into the person who's actually ready to receive what you've been asking for. You might be frustrated right now. You've been doing the work. You've been showing up. You've tried to stay positive, but nothing seems to be moving. The door hasn't opened. The opportunity hasn't arrived. The breakthrough still feels like a dream, not a reality. And that frustration is understandable. You're human. You're hungry for change. You crave progress. But what if the very thing you think is blocking you is actually blessing you? What if the delay is your protection? What if it's not happening yet because the version of you who's waiting is not the version of you who will be able to carry what's coming? Think about it. There are some things in life that would have destroyed you if they had arrived too early. Success that would have fed your ego more than your spirit. Love that would have validated your wounds instead of healing them. Money that would have magnified your insecurities instead of empowering your purpose. The universe doesn't rush miracles. It orchestrates them with divine precision. Every step, every detour, every no, it's shaping you, teaching you, building something within you that can't be measured by time, only by transformation. It's easy to assume that because it hasn't arrived, it never will. But that assumption comes from fear, not truth. Fear is loud. Fear says you're forgotten, you're behind, you're not good enough. But truth speaks softer. It says you're growing, you're learning, you're being made ready. And readiness isn't about checking boxes. It's about embodying energy, becoming the version of yourself that doesn't just want the outcome, but can sustain it, protect it, nurture it, share it. During the delay, something deeper is unfolding. You're learning patience, and patience isn't passive. It's one of the most active forms of inner strength. It takes courage to keep showing up when the results are invisible. It takes faith to believe in the unseen. It takes discipline to keep your heart open when all logic says to shut it down. And yet, that's where growth lives. Not in the rewards, but in the waiting. Not in the finish line, but in the decision to keep walking, even when the destination is out of sight. The delay tests your clarity. It asks, do you really want this for the right reasons? Are you chasing this dream to prove something to others or to express something from your soul? Are you seeking validation or alignment? Are you building a life based on external milestones or internal meaning? These questions matter because a delayed blessing has the power to purify your motives, to strip away illusions, to refine your focus until all that's left is truth. And from that place of truth, you begin to realize that the goal is not to arrive quickly, but to arrive whole. In the space between where you are and where you want to be, your character is forged. You're forced to confront doubt, to sit with discomfort, to break old patterns, to release control. And in that sacred pressure, you become someone new, someone stronger, someone wiser, someone who doesn't just want the reward, but understands its responsibility. That kind of growth cannot be rushed. You can't fake it. You can't shortcut it. You have to surrender to it. You have to let it shape you in the quiet moments, in the lonely seasons, in the days that seem like they're going nowhere. Because those are the days that shape everything. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. The delay is building something in you that success never could. It's teaching you to walk by faith, not by sight. To lead with presence, not pressure. To speak from experience, not theory. One day, you'll look back and see that the very season you wanted to skip was the one that built your foundation. The one that taught you endurance, the one that stripped away the superficial and brought you face to face with your strength. You don't have to force what is divine. What is meant for you will find you when you're truly ready. But readiness isn't about doing more. It's about becoming more aware, more grounded, more aligned. That's what the delay is doing. It's not wasting your time. It's sharpening your time. It's teaching you the rhythm of your own soul. And in that rhythm, you'll find that waiting is not weakness. It's wisdom. It's the space where preparation becomes power, where timing becomes sacred, where you stop striving and start trusting. There is an invisible force shaping your life at every moment. It's not fate. It's not luck. It's not even effort alone. It's intention. The clarity, the energy, and the emotion you bring to every thought, every action, every dream. This is what molds your reality. And yet most people walk through life unaware of this power, leaking energy toward fears, doubts, distractions, and stories they never consciously chose. The moment you begin to direct your focus with purpose, your world begins to shift. Not by magic, but by design. Not through force, but through alignment. Intention is more than a wish. It's more than setting a goal or writing down affirmations. It's the inner decision to become energetically available for a higher reality. It is the conscious declaration that says, this is who I am now, before the world gives you permission to become it. Your life responds not to what you say you want, but to what you truly believe you are worthy of receiving. And your belief is encoded into your energy, into your presence, into the thoughts you feed, and the emotions you entertain when no one is watching. Most people aren't living with intention. They're living with reaction. They're responding to circumstances, responding to other people's opinions, responding to fear. But when you live by reaction, you give away your power. You become a mirror to the world instead of a creator within it. That's why intention matters. Intention reclaims your authorship. It says, I am not here to simply reflect what is. I am here to direct what will be. That shift changes everything, because energy flows where your intention goes. And where your energy flows, growth begins. Imagine your mind as a garden. Every thought you dwell on is a seed. If you water seeds of doubt, scarcity, and fear, don't be surprised when your life feels like a battlefield. But if you begin each day with the deliberate planting of faith, purpose, and gratitude, watch how the landscape of your life begins to change. It won't always happen overnight, but it will happen. Because the universe doesn't respond to desperation, it responds to clarity. The more clearly you align with what you intend to create, the more the world begins to reflect it back to you. This is why people who operate with deep inner certainty often seem like magnets. They don't chase opportunities, they attract them. They don't beg for love, they radiate it. They don't force success, they embody it. That's not arrogance, that's alignment. That's the result of inner intention becoming so strong that the outer world has no choice but to adjust itself. Your energy becomes a frequency that calls in everything meant for you, not because you're lucky, but because you're deliberate. But intention is not just about clarity, it's also about consistency. You don't water your garden once and expect it to bloom forever. You tend to it daily. The same goes for your energy. If your intention is to grow, to heal, to win, to rise, then your daily actions must reflect that. You can't set an intention once and then feed habits that contradict it. Your energy gets confused. Your results get scattered. Life begins to reflect that fragmentation. But when your thoughts, emotions, and actions are aligned, when you wake up with purpose and move through your day with integrity to that purpose, things begin to shift in profound ways. You don't have to know every detail of how your dream will unfold. You just have to stay in alignment with the intention behind it. Let that intention guide how you show up, how you speak, how you respond. Let it become the invisible compass that steers your decisions. Because the truth is, life isn't just happening to you, it's responding to you. Not to your words, but to your energetic signature. Not to what you pretend to be, but to what you believe yourself to be when no one else is around. That's why protecting your energy is vital. You cannot maintain powerful intention in an environment of constant distraction, comparison, or negativity. Your focus is sacred. Your energy is currency. Be mindful of what you invested in. Every time you scroll aimlessly, argue needlessly, or dwell on what's lacking, you withdraw from the very energy that could be building your future. But when you start directing your energy toward expansion, possibility, and gratitude, you begin to cultivate a vibration that invites miracles. And miracles are not rare, they are natural. They are the result of alignment, not accident. They show up when your inner world becomes a match for your outer desire. That's the essence of intentional living. You're not waiting for circumstances to change so you can feel better. You feel better so your circumstances begin to reflect that elevated state. You become the cause, not the effect. The source, not the victim. The artist of your life, not just a passive observer of it. This power lives in you right now. It doesn't need permission, it doesn't need perfection, it only needs awareness. Awareness that you are not here to survive by default, but to thrive by design. That your energy, once focused, once claimed, once directed with conscious intent, can rebuild worlds within you and around you. And every time you choose alignment over anxiety, direction over distraction, and faith over fear, you return to that sacred truth again and again. Energy flows where your intention goes. There are moments when life pushes you so far to the edge that you begin to think maybe giving up is the only option left. The silence grows louder, the results don't come, the people you counted on vanish, the pain refuses to fade. You sit there wondering if all your efforts, your hopes, your faith, were they all for nothing? But what you don't realize in those moments is that the very pressure you feel isn't there to crush you. It's there to activate something dormant inside you, something deeper than willpower, something stronger than motivation. It's the part of you that wasn't meant to quit. It's the part of you that wasn't meant to quit. It's the part of you that came here to transcend. To transcend doesn't mean to avoid difficulty. It means to rise above it while still moving through it. It's not about escaping the fire. It's about becoming the fire, transforming through it, turning pain into purpose, turning setbacks into sacred turning points. Life's not trying to destroy you. It's trying to reveal you, to awaken you to a level of power and awareness that cannot be reached in comfort. The problem is we often mistake discomfort as a sign to stop when it's really a signal to evolve. Think about how many times you've come close to quitting, not just on goals, but on yourself. Times you doubted whether you had anything left. Times the dream felt too far, the burden too heavy, the odds too overwhelming. But you're still here, reading this, breathing, alive. That means something. That means life still has something it's asking from you. It's not done with you because you're not done with it. What you must realize is that everything you've gone through wasn't meant to define you. It was meant to refine you. And that refinement isn't about punishment. It's about unlocking the next layer of your potential. The mistake most people make is confusing resistance with redirection. They think just because it's hard, they're off track. But the truth is, anything worth becoming will demand a version of you that doesn't yet exist. And the only way to meet that version is by walking through the very things your old self would have avoided. Quitting is the language of the unawakened self. Transcendence is the calling of the awakened soul. And your soul didn't come here to settle. It came here to rise. You weren't given your vision by accident. You weren't born with that fire in your belly just to be tamed by fear. The dreams you carry, the ones that won't let you sleep, the ones that whisper to you in your quiet moments, those are not fantasies. They are assignments. And with every assignment comes resistance, not to stop you, but to qualify you, to stretch you into someone who no longer just wants a better life, but who embodies the energy required to live it. You can't transcend by staying the same. You transcend by becoming more than who you were yesterday, more aware, more grounded, more committed. It's not about perfection, it's about progression. Every time you face a storm and choose not to run, you build spiritual endurance. You rewire your identity. You begin to replace why me with try me, because you've learned that the obstacle is not the enemy. It's the invitation, an invitation to become stronger, deeper, more conscious. The world will tell you to quit when it gets tough, to give up when it doesn't make sense. But the ones who transcend are the ones who stay in the game when no one's watching, when the applause is gone, when the path is unclear, when the only thing guiding them is inner conviction. That kind of conviction cannot be taught. It must be chosen. It must be claimed. It must be remembered in moments when everything else around you is trying to make you forget who you are. Quitting feels easier because it offers temporary relief, but that relief is a mirage. What it really offers is the illusion of peace while stealing your growth. Transcendence, on the other hand, requires that you face the very parts of yourself you once tried to hide, the fears, the wounds, the false narratives. But in facing them, you become free. Free not from the world, but from the self that believed it had no choice but to surrender. You were never meant to be ordinary. You were never meant to live a life of quiet regret. The reason your challenges feel personal is because your purpose is powerful. Life only shakes those it seeks to awaken. And if you're being shaken now, it's not to break you, it's to build you, to strip away every excuse, every distraction, every layer of self-doubt until all that remains is truth. And the truth is, you're still in this. You still have something to give, something to grow into, something to rise toward. You've already survived things you once thought would destroy you. You've already overcome moments you thought you'd never recover from. Don't forget that. Don't ignore your own resilience. Transcendence doesn't always look like winning in the eyes of the world. Sometimes it looks like refusing to give up on yourself one more day. Sometimes it looks like crying through the pain but showing up anyway. Sometimes it looks like crying through the pain but showing up anyway. Sometimes it looks like carrying faith in silence when no one else understands your fire. What you've just walked through is not a speech, it's a mirror, a reminder of who you really are beneath the noise, the doubt, and the delays. You are not your failures. You are not your past. You are not your fear. You are the force that rises, the presence that refuses to be silenced, the soul that still believes, still dreams, still fights. Every challenge was a classroom. Every delay was preparation. Every time you were tempted to give up, something greater within you whispered, "Not yet, you're not done. You were built for more." This is your rebirth, your turning point, your declaration to the universe and to yourself that it's not over until you win. Because victory isn't just something you chase, it's something you become. And now it's your time to step forward, not with hesitation, but with conviction. The world hasn't seen all of you yet, but it will.